Hello my students, our session today is The Reader Black Beauty by Anna Swell, Chapter 4. Let's introduce the characters for this chapter. Number 1. Earl Smith. Earl Smith was a rich man who bought Black Beauty from Squire Gordon. Lady Smith. Lady Smith was Earl Smith's wife. Lady Anne. She was Earl Smith's daughter. York. He was Earl Smith's helper. Mr. Perry. He was a businessman and Black Beauty's owner in Bath. Filcher. Filcher was Mr. Perry's helper. Jerry Parker. Jerry Parker was a kind taxi driver in London. And the horses for this chapter: Lizzie, a young horse at Earlshall Park, and Captain, the horse who worked with Black Beauty in driving taxis. Let's turn to the summary for this chapter. Earl Smith's house at Earlshall Park was much bigger and more modern than Peauty Park. The Earl's daughter, Lady Anne, liked to ride Black Beauty around the park. Lady Smith always used Black Beauty to pull carriages. She liked the latest fashions, and one of these was for horses to use special reins to keep the horses' heads high in the air all the time. The reins were very uncomfortable, and it was impossible to pull the carriages up a hill when you couldn't put your head down. One day, Ginger was uncomfortable with these reins. She began to kick so hard and fell to the ground. Ginger and Black Beauty were both badly hurt. They weren't able to pull the carriage anymore. Earl Smith decided to sell them. Black Beauty was sold in Bath to a man who used to hire his horses for a day. Then he was sold to a businessman called Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry had a helper called Filcher, who used to steal Beauty's food to feed his rabbits. Black Beauty was taken to the market for horses. There he was sold to a kind man called Jerry Parker. Now let's turn to some critical thinking questions on this chapter. Question number 1. Why do you think Lady Smith insisted in using the reins? The answer is because it was the latest fashion for horses. Question number 2. Do you think that Black Beauty and Ginger liked the reins, and why? The answer is no, because the reins were uncomfortable and it was difficult to pull the carriages up a hill with their heads down. Question number 3. Do you think Filcher deserved to be arrested? Why or why not? Yes, I think so, because he wasn't a good man and only thought about himself and his family, not about Black Beauty. Question number 4. Why do you think that Black Beauty was sad when he was at the market for horses? Because he saw a lot of old and weak horses, and he might be like them one day. And thanks a lot.